kind of code we want to have our government, our country stand for, what we should live by. And I'll be praying for each one of you. Let God guide you in the kind of choices that you make, because those are our codes. As a young man, Joseph lived by one set of codes, one kind of code, one set of values. As a favored son of Jacob, he lived a life of privilege, a life of arrogance. He was the favorite son, and everybody knew that. He flaunted his favored status. He let all his brothers know that he was daddy's number one. He reveled in the unearned, unwarranted position that he received of being a supervisor of all his older brothers. Joseph relished the opportunity to inform his father on all the bad things that his older brothers were doing. He was a major tattletale, and he liked doing that. He enjoyed wearing that coat of many colors that his father made for him. No one else got that, but this was like a real kind of coat that sort of signified that he was the heir apparent, in charge of everything. He would get the birthright. And he got a lot of satisfaction sharing those dreams that he had, where these sheaves were all bowing down to him. The sun and the moon and the stars were all bowing down to him. He lived by that kind of code, where he was the center of attention and everything revolved around him. Yes, young man Joseph lived by one kind of code. But as an adult, he lived on a different kind of code. Somewhere along the line, his code changed to NYBI. Maybe it was the rude reception that he received from his brothers when he came to check up on him, and they threw him into a pit. Maybe it was the fact that his angry brothers took his coat of many colors and ripped it into shreds. Maybe it was being sold to the Midianites as a piece of property. Maybe it was trudging behind a camel with his hands tied, and he's seeing the tents of his father off in the distance in the hills and couldn't get their attention. Maybe it's that long journey down to Egypt. But somewhere along the line, the code that Joseph lived by changed to a code of integrity. When he was on that auction block there in Egypt, the old Joseph would have fought for it and said, "No, I'm not going to work for you. Don't do anything what I say. You better not buy me. I'm not going to work for you very hard." He would have done that, claiming the role of the role of a slave was drastically beneath his status, but not the new Joseph. The new Joseph lived by the code NYBI. And when Potiphar purchased Joseph, the old Joseph would have said, "Okay, you bought me. I'm not going to work very hard. I'm going to do the littlest possible. I'm going to try to make you regret that you ever bought me. I'll do a bad job. I will not put in a quality day's work." The old Joseph would have done that, but not the new Joseph, because the new Joseph lived by the code NYBI. When Potiphar's wife came and expressed interest in Joseph sexually, the old Joseph would have said, "Hey, thank you very much. I'm glad you think I'm pretty good looking." The old Joseph would have said, "Okay, this is my chance to really pay back Potiphar for buying me, and I can really do what he can't do, what she doesn't want him to do. And maybe I can work out some kind of deal with Potiphar's wife, and eventually I can manipulate that relationship and even get my release or a chance to escape." That's what the old Joseph might have done. But the new Joseph